drink ready.
No, it's fine.
Dad, do. I'm taking half of this.
Becky Watts at her home in playful mood, being challenged to eat an extra hot curry by her father,
It's easy.
who delights in filming it. This, the video he'd post online in despair months later, desperate to find her.
Oh, look at this, Dad.
What happened to Becky Watts, photographed here on the day her father married for the second time, happened at the hands of the man by his side, Nathan Matthews, the best man, Becky's stepbrother, and his partner, Shauna Hall.
Are you gonna have to read that statement?
No.
Matthews, the 28-year-old takeaway delivery driver whose tearful, self-pitying testimony of a kidnap plot gone wrong, a jury today unanimously rejected. Outside court today, Becky's father and Nathan Matthews' mother listened in silence and comforted one another, as first a detective and then relatives read out statements.
On February the 19th, 2015, the Goresworthy and Watts families were thrust into a nightmare. But unlike most nightmares, it didn't end in the following morning, or any morning after that. In fact, we are still in that nightmare now.
It began as a missing persons inquiry in a suburb of Bristol, but as the days passed and the searches widened, the appeals from the 16-year-old's family became ever more desperate.
Bex, if you're watching this, please come home.
If there was false hope at the beginning of a disgruntled teenager leaving home scenario, then it was cruelly fueled by the last two people to see her, Becky's stepbrother Nathan and his girlfriend Shauna, here volunteering information to the police.
No, I heard stomping down the stairs. That's what made me think that Becky left in a mood. So I said to Angie, because obviously the door slammed, but I wasn't sure if that was the wind. I took it because there was like quite stomp down the stairs. I assumed, she was in a bit of one of her tantrums.
Yeah.
But the truth is, Shauna Hall knew Becky never left home that day, because she and Matthews went there to kidnap her. Nathan Matthews tried ultimately to spin the lie that it had all been down to him, a kidnap plot to scare Becky, to try to teach her a lesson over how she'd been treating his mother, which went horribly wrong. His version, one of a brief struggle, accidental strangulation, and Shauna, outside in the garden, oblivious to it all. The reality, however, was very different. The struggle, according to a pathologist, was sustained and violent, with Becky fighting for her life, suffering more than 40 injuries, and most likely dying from suffocation, a hand smothering her mouth and nose. Her corpse then stabbed 15 times. Shauna Hall was acquitted today of Becky's murder, but found guilty of manslaughter. What she and Matthews did next, said the prosecution, was grotesque. They took Becky's body back to their home in the Barton Hill area of Bristol. Matthews bought a circular saw from B&Q. He and Shauna then bought bin bags, bleach and cling film. By the time police searched their junk-filled, cluttered flat, the bathroom where Becky had been dismembered was spotless. Not a forensic trace of her remained.
I came up with the idea to scare her.
When Matthews was arrested, exposed by a fingerprint found in blood at Becky's home, he eventually directed police to a shed near his flat. And there, in bags and boxes, they found Becky's body in 8 pieces, meticulously wrapped in cling film.
Nathan Matthews was responsible for killing his stepsister in the most appalling of ways, and subsequently treated her body in the most barbaric, grotesque, horrific way. And I think that really people will draw their own conclusions of the type of individual that can behave in that way and can do what he's done.
As to why the couple did what they did, jurors heard of their dislike and contempt for a girl they viewed as attention-seeking. But sex featured too, claimed the prosecution. They had an unnatural interest in petite teenage girls, jurors heard. Messages between them were revealed in court, including this one.
Just went into Costcutter and saw a very pretty petite girl. Almost knocked her out to bring her home, lol.
Don't you almost me, now do it.
For us as a family, today is not the final chapter in this tragedy, but now we can at least begin the challenge to rebuild our lives. Thank you to everyone who has walked this journey with us. Thank you.
Jadine Parsons and her partner Carl Demetrius previously pleaded guilty in this case to the offence of assisting an offender. Donovan Demetrius and James Ireland were today acquitted of the same charge. Becky Watts' killers Nathan Matthews and Shauna Hoare are due to be sentenced on Friday.